Hey, it's the disclaimer. Hello, I'm Fslayer. I'm an artist, a cosplayer, a roller skater, collector of comics, lover of animation, lover of reading, and have been gaming since at least '88. I'm a total blurred.
The action figures.
Along with all those things, I'm also an action figure collector and have been collecting for over 20 years. I initially collected only my favorite comic book and manga characters to keep costs low, mostly Batman, for which I blame Batman the Animated Series. It was that good. I blame X-Men the Animated Series for my love of Magneto and Storm as well. When I was buying my first Marvel Select Storm, I decided to buy a T'Challa because of his importance in the X-Men comics at the time. Then I started to notice more and more Black characters in important positions in the comics and wanted them as well. I also began buying up my favorite Black characters from my childhood. Thanks, eBay. I was later asked to show my collection at my church for Black History Month, and it was a hit. I was really surprised at how many adults who were older than me were really interested in the Black characters and their stories. The kids wanted to open everything, comics and toys included, and that was a no-no. The adults were happy to express that they were very happy to see characters that were Black that weren't only the stereotypical representations of us, like people who were in gangs or just thugs and criminals. It's at that point I knew I had something special. The incidents. Two other instances, hurtful incidents, further revealed to me the importance of my collection and the importance of varied representation of African Americans in American media. The first happened in my classroom. The second happened to me in my neighborhood. I was a teacher of 2- and 3-year-olds for 7 years and was at my second center. The second center had mostly white families. When I was hired, I noticed that there were no dolls or figures of color in my classroom and asked my boss for some, specifically the multicultural family sets. Y'all remember those. When I got them into the classroom, I set up the families in the dollhouse, and the babies were really excited. Admittedly, so was I. When the darlings started to play with them, one of my babies, a 2-year-old, picked up the Black male figure and said, "Look, Miss, a bad guy," and my heart absolutely broke. I almost cried. I then gently explained to her, "That's not a bad guy, that's a daddy, like my daddy." And she said, "Okay." So then I was led to bring in pictures of myself and my sister as toddlers and a picture of my family and started a family board in the classroom. I also started to bring in my Black superhero action figures for show and share or show and tell day so the buddies could see examples of Black superheroes. In a few weeks, I started to bring in the Black superheroes and the Black supervillains and put them next to each other. And I would ask the buddies, who's a good guy and who's a bad guy? And of course, they could never tell. That's when we came up with the classroom motto. It's not what you look like, it's how you act. The second incident happened while I was roller skating in my predominantly Jewish neighborhood. A Jewish family was walking across the street from me, and they had a 3- to 4-year-old boy with them. When he saw me skating past, he pointed at me and said, "Look, a bad guy," to his family. The dad quickly tapped the little boy's cheek and got his family out of the area. Once again, I was heartbroken that a little kid, a 3- to 4-year-old, was being taught that the color of my skin makes me and those who look like me bad guys. I've shared these stories with you because they were the incidents that helped me come to the conclusion that is the heart of this channel. Too often in the United States of America, entertainment is taken to be reality. And if that entertainment is not varied in its representation of a group, in this case African Americans, the consumers of that entertainment, particularly those that have no significant personal interaction with that group, are very likely to believe the group is exactly as they are portrayed in said entertainment.
On this channel,
I will present to you the African American and Black characters that I grew up with and or those that have piqued my interest as an adult. You'll see characters from the 80s, the extreme 90s, the anime-saturated 2000s, and more. I hope you'll join me. I'm new to editing, so I'm going to work hard to upload a video at least once a month. I'm also dealing with these two. They get on my nerves. And you'll also see my artwork along the way. Thanks for joining me today, and please let me know what characters you hope to see in the future. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Have a great day. Bye.